Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. So I had a very similar problem when it came to getting a scan done without movement or without talking. When my neurologist suspected that I had jugular vein compression, she sent me for a CT scan. And it was a dynamic CT. And she pretty much was like, hey, you're going to move around. They're going to find it. When I actually got the CT scan done, none of that happened. And I had even spoken to the people in the room with me, and they were like, no, we know what she's looking for. We have the image. Don't worry about it. We actually don't need to adjust your head. They didn't need to tilt me different ways. And I was like, something about this just doesn't feel right. We also did an x-ray. They didn't move me around. And I was like, again, I don't think we're getting this right. When those results came back, my neurologist then sent me to Brain and Spine Surgeons of New York, and I saw Dr. Peter Constantino. They specialize in jugular vein compression. And he took a look at the scans and basically was like, these are inconclusive. They didn't do it right. So he then asked me to get the CT scan done again. And he has a very detailed way of doing the scan. I even asked for a breakdown of how the scan is done. So that way, when I was in the room with the person who was doing the CT, that I could explain what needed to be done just in case they hadn't read the directions. I even called the place beforehand and was like, I want to make sure that you guys have these on file because one, I've already had this test done. Two, I don't want to get this test done again and have it be inaccurate or done incorrectly so that it is then inconclusive. So even when I went, I will tell you that they gave me a hard time. They pretty much were just like, you don't need to move around. We know what we're looking for. We can find it. We can find it. We can find it. And I straight up had to reiterate multiple times to numerous people, hey, if it's on the directions, please just follow it. Please. Then I got really lucky because they sent in a CT tech who knew what jugular vein compression was. And she was amazing. She literally was like, cool, we're going to scan you once normally, but then we're going to inject the dye into you. And she's like, you have X amount of time and all you have to do is follow our instructions. You're going to go head down, you're going to go left, you're going to go right. And we have to do it rapid fire before the dye leaves the area. And thank God she knew what she was doing and that she understood what jugular vein compression was, because those were the images that helped me get the diagnosis and helped me figure out what the heck had been going on. But that could not have been caught previously because I wasn't moving in a CT. I wasn't doing anything in terms of movement when I was getting a scan done for them to be like, oh, you have this. Even though I was telling doctors hey, when my chin goes to my chest, I get really faint, or when I turn my head too far one direction, a symptom comes on. All of this to say, it's really important for you to be an advocate for yourself. It's also really important for you to have doctors who understand what it is that they are looking for and are able to articulate it to the teams that are doing the imaging. Because if I had not had that CT technician who had known what was going on, I probably would have come out with a second scan where they didn't get the image. And then I would have potentially needed to go in a third time, which is just far too much. The other part of this is that even after I got that scan done, I had lengthy conversations with the radiologist at the scan place because after the first scan, they were like, we're not going to scan you again. We already have everything. We're not doing this. And I had to go to Weill Cornell and go to a completely separate CT scan place, and then had to talk to the radiologist before I got the scan done in order to prove that it was necessary. And it was only after that was done when I actually had a radiologist call me up, because I was going to go back in for a secondary follow-up scan, and it ended up being unnecessary. But when she was on the phone with me, she was like, I can very clearly see from this second set of scans, the ones that they kind of pushed back on me getting, that you do have this. And it would not have been seen had you not had a dynamic CT.